Hey everybody, Joe at Bumbling Acres. Hope y'all are doing well. We're gonna go on a quick guided tour of the property and I'm gonna show you some things. Got a couple things on my mind. Here's my really sharp lean-to I made last week. That was the latest edition of Joe's building efforts. With water system daisy chained together when I was figuring out how to do it. Again, just have an outlet going into it. Here's another two, downspout attached. These aren't daisy chained together. I just had to put my hoses up after draining them because you have to drain it every time it rains. This time here I don't want it to freeze. So tree pruning I did earlier. You can kind of see the tree there. So why, now I'll walk over one thing while I'm talking about it. So why am I giving you a tour? Some of the things I've done. A couple of different reasons. One, I did it, it's mine. Who doesn't like to show off what they've done? Two being, none of them look that appealing. There's nothing, I'm not gonna whip out pictures of my lean-to show off to my coworkers at work when I talk about how awesome the experience is. Here's my first generation chicken tractor, which some of y'all may have seen later. If you've seen them online, it's too big, too tall, but it works. So why am I giving you the tour of this? We're gonna get in front of my baby pond. Barely holds any water. That we'll be setting up a drainage system into this coming spring, using the water collection points and the excess runoff, so that I'm guiding the runoff from my property into this pond will hopefully increase the amount of water in it. But why am I showing you things, especially not very good looking ones, like that prune tree? Hoping I did it right. You can over prune a tree, trim the tree, so I'm dangerously close to that point. So we'll see in the spring if it bounces back. It's a pear tree on our property that has a disturbingly, like, it looks more like a weeping willow in pear season because it's just so weighted. And most of the pears come up above us, we can't get to them. So today did the tree trimming and putting the hoses up because I have to pull them out and drain them because I don't have a drainage system in PVC pipe that I'll be setting up in the spring. But one of the things I love about homesteading at this point in my homesteading career, which is very new, I've been doing this less than a year. It's January, we moved here in April, so May is really where we kicked off this journey. It's been 8 months. And I have allowed myself to be released from the burden of perfection. And there's a certain beauty to that. None of those things look very beautiful, what I just showed you through. They're all works in progress. They're all gonna get better. They're all first generation of almost everything I've done. But you know what? They work. And that works. 99% of the time, if it works, it works. It's good. You don't need to be like, well, my lean-to is technically not long enough. It doesn't cover both bird things, and I scavenged wood to build it. So it's not very, it kind of does what it's supposed to do. Mostly does, but not perfect. And I'm okay with that. Like, I've had to learn to be okay with that as a homesteader. And at first glance, it's not something easily to get used to. But eventually it's very liberating to know that you're good enough. It's generally good enough. You're gonna learn from it. You're gonna do it better next time. But try it, do it. Learn from it, and it's better. But why that works on the homestead, that doesn't work at my corporate job. Like, you need to do it right, like, because there's mechanisms, and it's not a organic thing. It's not a. The reason homestead works like this is because life is precious. It is important, but also life is incredible in its abundance. And that life begets life. Now there are times, like we found out last year with our chickens, like there were some issues that we needed to do. It actually wound up, we got like 12 chicks at one point, and 9 of them died. So it was not a good house. I was not very happy about that. And I did a blog about that, or vlog. But when we talk about life, we have this tendency to think about life as this precious thing that doesn't, precious isn't the right word. That's can't think of the right word for it, but that it's precarious, that it's super, super fragile. And life is fragile and life is precious, but it's resilient. And when life goes forth, it comes forth in abundance. Our chickens, even in this, now we've had a very mild winter so far, our chickens are still laying. We still get between 5 and 9 eggs a day from our chickens, even in this, when it gets cold. And in the spring, we're going to get close to, probably, we should expect somewhere around 2 dozen a day. Because that's how life is. Because life is hard, life is abundant. So life doesn't generate just one. So when you're dealing with life, and you do learn, and you get better, and you learn, life rewards you in its abundance. Our pear tree probably survive. And in the spring, when it comes through, it's going to grow back out. It'll be more efficient for it because I've taken out, it doesn't have to focus on this entire tree for its growth. It's not fighting for resources amongst itself. That's part of the role of humans. We are a balancer in nature, and voila, I'm going to have more pears. Our chickens will get more chickens. Our property will get more property because life is abundant, and that's what homesteading is. Homesteading is growing and nestled and comfortable in the abundance of life. It does require wet sweat. I was up on a ladder. I was going to post, well, I wasn't going to do a video. I played with around the idea of doing a video while I was trimming the tree, but it may not have been the most safe thing on this planet. My wife, I told my wife I didn't want her watching me while I was doing it. You know, it wasn't that bad. I was up 7, 8, I was probably up about 10 feet in the ladder with the chainsaw, just chopping off the top, just taking some height out of it. You know, every now and then, you know, you're dealing with a tree that's falling, and it may have been closer than I would have liked, but I knew I was fine. By the way, tangent. But no, we get back to what matters. Life, precious, abundant, homesteading, connection. Look at Belle in the background right there. But as a homesteader, as a person, as a life, do it. Do something. Life will correct you if you're wrong. Do something. So anyway, life is abundant, life is precious. Do it. It's not going to look pretty, but get the job done. Joe with Bumble Naker signing off. Thank y'all.